Hey guys, it's Hannah. So we are on our way to the intertidal zone, and the intertidal zone that we picked was the locks, and I'll give you more of like a view of that once we get there. But since we're on our way, I figured I'd just start my video now and tell you guys what all we're going to be doing. We're going to be exploring the intertidal zone, and the intertidal zone is basically where the tides come in and out. It's just like a beach, but like it's where like you can see where the tide was high at one point and now it's low, or it could be high, but it's not going to be high right now. So one of the things we're going to be looking for is the abiotic factors, which are the non-living things. So like anything that's there that doesn't breathe or have any kind of components like that, or have any of the living organism characteristics. Yeah, I used that word right. And also we're going to be looking for the biotic factors, and thanks to Missy's Latin, it's bio meaning life, so that's all of the living factors. So like the plants, the animals, I mean even the people that are there. That's something that goes on in that environment. Also we'll be looking at the fauna, and it is the animals of a particular region, habitat, or geological period. So guess what? That's a biotic factor. And also we'll be looking at the flora, which are plants of a particular region, habitat, or environmental period. And that is also another biotic factor. So we're here now, so I'll go explore and I'll show you what I find. Thank you. Enjoy. So, okay, we made it. We're at the Franklin Locks now. And so if you can see, there's like that thing up here. Right? Is that what that is?
It's a lock.
A lock. We're gonna edit that out. So there's a lock over there, and it's kind of like a beach area here. I'll show you. So what makes this an intertidal zone is you can see where at one point it was a high tide, but now you can see like this is like the middle. We're in it. We're in the intertidal zone, like inner. And then here's where it's at low tide now. And so we'll go adventuring and come back later. Guys, we got birds. So guess what? That is a biotic factor, and also it's a fauna because it's an organism, an animal. Okay, I found something that's an absolute disgrace, but it is, oh I lost it, but it is an abiotic factor, so we're gonna talk about it. Oh, I missed. Here's a ball. Don't litter, kids, this is not okay. So we found some shells, and this is a snail shell. So like a snail was once in it, so that means it was once living, so it was a biotic factor, but now it's an abiotic because there's nothing in it, so it's just a shell. So killed two birds with one stone there, but not literally. We're not killing any birds. The camera's at my feet.
It was on your shell.
Oh. Okay, and then also we found some cool shells here, which are part of phylum Bivalvia. So they were once living, but they're not anymore. I don't know. This one might not be, it's not open. So we found some plants. I'm not sure what type they are. Kind of looks like it might grow into like a lily, but yeah. So that's a biotic factor. And it's a flora. So we found some jellyfish. I'm not sure if they're alive or not, but I'm not really looking into finding out because I don't want to get stung. And they're so cute, they're little babies, it's precious. Okay, let's look for some in the water. Okay, so there's one right there. Well, it was in the water, because then the water moved. So, close enough, but it was there. There's a sailboat! Okay, so once the sailboat goes by, I have some information to tell you. And it's the thing in the chapter that I'm really going to talk about. Well, I've really talked about everything, but you know what I mean. So, you can't really see it. I'm going to wait till he comes to the end of the locks. But okay, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming. Just wait. Patience is a virtue. Okay, so you can see him a little bit better now. But you kind of see how he's like changing the water pattern with like the fact that there's a big object in there. Well, we didn't really have a lot of waves here as like we were happening. Okay, so we didn't really have a lot of waves going on right now, but since the sailboat kind of created some waves, we're going to talk about waves and wave refaction. So waves are like, they come in a circular yeah, I think I said that right. Pattern coming up to the shore or coming up to any object, but once they get closer to like the shore or like the logs that keep the locks in the ground, the circular pattern gets ended, and so that's when you get like the white of the waves or where it's kind of flat. And I'll show you. Here, can I see that? And you can kind of see where like the waves are ending. I just fell in the hole, but are kind of ending at the shore. Like that's like it hitting the object keeps it going, and you can kind of see how it's just kind of, it's not really strong right now, so you can't really see it, but you can see how they're just kind of flowing, and then they get ended here. If it was like stronger, I could show you better, but you kind of get the idea. So we found barnacles, which is like what we needed, or is a good thing to look for. And a survival strategy for barnacles is they cling on to objects. So like when the tide comes in and out, because you know it's always changing, they cling to it and they can't move. So like when the tide comes in, they don't move. Here, I can hold it if you need to take that. So I just let it fall. But so they don't ever move from there. They just stayed there. So like, this is probably unethical, but we're gonna move it around. See, they don't come off. So when the tide comes in and out or the waves hit it, they're good. And so here's some more barnacles here, but look what's on it. I hope it doesn't bite me. I don't think it can though. But, oh, it just fell off. Ah, it's a crab. Whoa. So, yeah, it fell off when I did it a minute ago. But so he's clinging to the barnacles, and his survival strategy is that he has feet, so he can crawl all the way up to the shore and wait for the tide to come out, and then he comes back.
This
and
is a live plant with roots
yes,
on it.
so there's another live plant with roots on it. And so their survival strategy is that they cling to the objects or the barnacles or both, whatever. So there's our 3 survival strategies. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned something. So, also, don't go on this side of the buoys. They have the buoys for a reason. That's why I'm standing in the water here and not over there. This is unnecessary. I am bringing all of these to the garbage can as we speak. But also, it's an abiotic factor because it's not. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit better view and understanding of where we were and what we're doing. So this is like the whole intertidal zone. And you can kind of see the main part of it. So yeah, this is the Franklin Locks. Kind of doing an ad for them. They should pay me for this, but it's a beautiful place and you should come see it. I wanted to apologize for the messy hair because the wind was kind of rough, and if you didn't know that, that's an abiotic factor. Also, oh, the wind's moving my paper, you can see, and I'm kind of thankful that the sun wasn't so bright, so I didn't have to wear my sunglasses so you can like see me, so I look like a real human, like we can make eye contact even though I can't see you, but close enough. So yeah, I think that's it. I hope you learned something. Thank you for watching. Okay, so I didn't say this when I showed you them, so I'm going to tell you now. The barnacles that were on the buoys over there and that were on like the little pieces of thing in between the buoys was the indicator species of this area, which is another type of fauna. So, you're good. Okay, so we're looking for more animals, and I've seen manatees here before, but I can't see any today, so I just want to let you know if you want to come see manatees, this wouldn't be a bad spot to come look at yourself. Found a turtle. What? Yeah, you can see it there. And also, I wanted to point out, we gotta go to the other side. The waves, the waves aren't very strong, so it's hard to see, but the waves are refracting off of the cement thing. So, yeah, that's something I talked about earlier. If you remember, or you learned, you would know. There's refraction happening right here. So, it was one thing when there was littering on the beach, but there's a balloon in the water. Okay, there's the beach over there, and you can like, I'm not saying littering's okay, but I'd rather you litter on the beach than in the water. What is wrong with you people? Here's a better view of that turtle. Yeah. The like lock system in action. There's water filling up here and there. And once it reaches a certain point, it's gonna open, it's gonna shut, and like the water can't fill up anymore. You can see on this cement, the zonation lines, it's not, they're supposed to be on living organisms, but it still works for this too. You can see how high up the water actually goes. Like you can see like around 17 and 18, it stops. Like it's not as warm from the water. So I take that as the water doesn't fill past that point that often. You really see the water flowing in. And with that, that makes me think that the survival strategies of these organisms that are coming from Okeechobee are really good because they have to deal with getting swept in through here. I don't think it's that big of an issue, but I think it would be a factor into animal loss or organism loss in this time. And you can see, like, this water is starting to go up, like it's up more than it was before, and this side's going down. And once this shuts, I'll show you how high this one is and how low that one is. See, the water's not coming in as fast now, and if you look on the thing, that's getting higher, and that is too, but it's almost like at the same spot. Like when I started this video, you could see more of the 17, and now it's like going away. And you're seeing more of the 17 now in this one. So I think it's not coming through as fast now because it's more even and there's not much to flow. You can see the zonation lines that I showed you before are starting to get covered, so we know why it was changed. And there's a lily floating around, so yeah. So as you see, like, the locks is completely open now, and you can kind of see the levels are almost exactly the same. Like, that's at a little over, like, at the top of the 7, and so is that one. So they're about the same, and so that's why it like opens, so everything's level. And eventually they're gonna have to go through there, but it's shut. So they're gonna have to open it, and you're gonna have to watch the levels go down. But now these are closing, so that means that water level is gonna stay the same, and this is gonna drop because all this water is gonna go that way. So like the water from Lake Okeechobee is gonna go down into the Caloosahatchee. It's kind of hard to see, but there's some minnows down there. And I'm having an issue finding fauna, and so we're gonna look at these minnows and count them as one. Yeah, it's kind of swimming away. I think I scared it, but it's okay. The gates are like almost shut, and it's kind of hard to see, but the water has kind of changed a little bit. Like, I feel like the levels went down just a little bit, which I kind of find weird because I feel like more would be this way now because it's like a straight channel. Like, it's just nothing. But I don't know, and we're gonna see what happens once this gate opens. So that's opening, and let's like watch and see what happens to the level here. And you can already see it's gone down quite a bit. Like, you can watch it shrinking right now. See, as the wider the gates are opening, the lower that gets. And you can kind of see it looks like there's like a little bit of water still coming in through there, but not a lot. So we're just gonna wait and see what happens here. But you can see the gates opening and that's shrinking. Like, you can see the zonation lines again.